Who remembers this back in GTA San Andreas, spamming the X button to get your weightlifting up? This, of course, was back in 2004. It is quite shocking to me that Rockstar didn't do anything more with this weightlifting mechanic since, but it looks like all of this may be coming back in GTA 6. So let's go ahead and talk about that, and let's just jump right in. So of course, in San Andreas, you could be fat, like Fat CJ here, which did just look very goofy. Or if you lifted the weights, you could be jacked CJ, which also looks pretty awesome. And like I said in the intro, it's disappointing that never really went anywhere in their other games after. The closest we got was in RDR2, where Arthur Morgan could become fat or thin if you didn't eat, but there was no muscle gain. Like the whole weightlifting aspect didn't come into play. And maybe that makes sense because it's a Wild West game and not a modern day game. Now, I think the only benefit in RDR2 if you were fat was that you could actually take more damage. I think you had more health, something like that, but also your stamina drained more. So like there was some pros and cons to it. And back in San Andreas, you also had benefits if you were fat and if you were, muscular. I think there was fighting in that game, so you obviously had those benefits. But will this show up in GTA 6? That's the question a lot of people want to know. And we're actually going to revisit the 2022 leaks again, because of course Rockstar have not given us any more information. We're still only on trailer 1. We haven't gotten trailer 2 yet. Maybe in trailer 2 we'll get some more clues if this sort of stuff is 100% guaranteed. But from the 2022 leaks, there was a bunch of interesting stuff regarding this. So here was a list of the 1300 events. Well, there's only a couple of them, but there were 1300 world events in the leaks, in those 2022 leaks. And here's just a recreation. There was only a handful that did mention workouts or gyms. Like we have here 83 and 84, Swole Couple Workout Challenge, and then Swole Couple Beach Selfies. Now, this one in particular might not necessarily mean we ourselves can work out. Maybe this is literally just a couple of NPCs doing some workout challenge, but figured I'd mention it because it does mention working out. There was also a couple of gym related world events. Like there's one where you have to do a repo at a gym, which again, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to the gym to work out, but if there is a gym, you would assume in GTA 6 there would be an interior and you could probably go in there. And we're gonna actually look at the GTA 6 document that documented all of the leaks and stuff from 2022, because unfortunately I cannot show you guys the footage still, but in some of the locations that were mentioned in the leaks, there was a gym in the South Beach area. And then the biggest evidence of this is the weight and muscle system section here. Now, yes, it is unconfirmed because the leaks were back in 2022. Maybe, there is a chance this was one of the parts that ends up getting cut, but I don't think that's going to be the case. And we'll talk about that here in a moment. But talking about this weight and muscle system, one of the points here, Lucia looks thinner around the waist compared to other clips. Like if you do go through all 80 clips of the leaked footage, there are some clips where Lucia does look bigger and she does look smaller. Now this could just be developmental things, like maybe they wanted her to be bigger, maybe they wanted her to be skinnier, who knows. But I did recently go back through all of most of the videos, and this was confirmed, at least to my eyes. It's not scientific, but there were some clips where she looked bigger and were some clips where she looked thinner. Not drastically, but it was enough to sort of notice. And if you have the clips yourselves, if you can find them, go through them and maybe look for your own. And also this happened with Jason. It was a little bit more obvious with Jason, but there's a clip with him talking to some other characters at a pool, and he does seem pretty muscular. Not jacked like CJ, like we saw, but he did have some toned muscles on his arms. And then there was, some clips, I guess one of them is with him and Lucia walking out of the motel. His arms are not toned at all, just, normal, lanky, non-muscular arms. And like it says here in the motel and nightclub video, again, if you have the leaks, you can find those particular clips. Jason has a skinnier body tone and his muscles don't show as much compared to, that scene where he was talking with the other characters by the pool. And I guess there also is an event called Multi-Gym. No idea what that would be, but, just to add on to some more events relating to gyms. So realistically, at the moment at least, that's all the evidence we have as far as a weight system coming back. But it just is logical because again, they did it in RDR2. They brought some of it back from San Andreas in RDR2. And from what we know behind the scenes, it looks like they're going to be using a bunch of that new technology that they brought in RDR2 to GTA 6, like the hair growth. We saw that in the leaks as well. It just makes sense. Why would they work on that for RDR2 and then not bring it to GTA 6? I mean, GTA 6, they've said they're shooting for a perfect game. It's probably going to be insanely immersive. So you're going to have all of that realistic stuff like hair growth, like the weight. I guess if you want to become fat, go to Burger Shot, fill up on your, 2 number 9s and all that, and you'll become big. And I guess if you don't do that, maybe you'll become skinny. And then if they do add all of this gym stuff, then of course you can become jacked if you want. But if you want to skip it, then you don't become jacked. And maybe there's some benefits to that. Maybe there's some cons to that. I'm sure it's not going to be anything major because some of this stuff is annoying. And I'm sure there's a good chunk of players out there who just don't want to deal with eating or going to the gym in a video game. So I'm sure Rockstar will balance it so where if you don't want to deal with all that stuff, you don't need to. I mean, it was like that in RDR2 and it wasn't that big of a deal. But honestly, this sort of mechanic, I mean, just thinking of the possibilities that could happen. I mean, number one, if you wanted to maybe skip the gym, one thing you could do, Rockstar could offer some sort of like illegal steroid, off the street off of some random guy. So then you don't need to go to the gym as much and you just get jacked. Like that could be a fun little mechanic. It would also be kind of funny if there were certain like side missions that were impacted by either how skinny you were or how fat you are or how muscular you are. Maybe certain missions require you to be more fit. Like if you have to run after someone or you have to like bike after someone. I'm not entirely sure what they could do. Or maybe if there was a mission out in the Everglades where you had to get on a canoe, like a little rinkety dink canoe, but you were too fat, the canoe would break. I could just see some very funny moments happening depending on your body type in the game. It wouldn't affect like the main story. You could do that normal, however you are, but some of the minor missions I think could be cool. I believe back in San Andreas, there was even a mission where you had to be fat to like get with some monster truck chick and you couldn't get with her if you were skinny. So Rockstar's done this in the past. So I'm sure they're going to do something similar here with GTA 6. And then of course, like San Andreas, the statistics and like RDR2, if you are fat, maybe you have more health, but your stamina goes down quicker. Or if you're skinny, it's the opposite. Or if you're muscular, when you punch people, it does more damage. Something like that. Like I'm sure they'll have little minor stuff like that, which also will be fun just to customize your character to make your character, the way you want them. And then of course, one thing that would be funny to see Rockstar just satirize is the, so-called influencers filming in gyms in real life. Like you just go into a gym in GTA 6 and then you see a bunch of people filming themselves. Like I think that would be pretty funny because then you could do whatever sort of GTA nonsense you would do to them in the game. And if they really wanted to get crazy with it, and I'm not advocating for this, but like if they really wanted to get crazy with it, they could have different types of exercises instead of just, doing the bench press like in San Andreas for different stats, right? You could do cardio for more stamina. You could have like a punching bag if you want to be better or faster at fist fighting. We did see in those 2022 leaks that there's going to be limited inventory space. Like you can only carry a handful of guns at a time. So maybe if you weight train, that will allow you to carry more weapons. Like that could be a pretty cool mechanic and it could make it worthwhile. I'm not entirely sure if they're going to go that specific with certain exercises. Maybe it'll just be like San Andreas where you have like one base thing. But from these leaks, it does look like being fat, being muscular, being skinny, all of that is going to be coming back in GTA 6. So let us know your thoughts in the comment section below on this. Is this something you were looking forward to? I mean, I think most people should want something like this just because it gives you the freedom to have your character how you want them to be. And again, they've done similar stuff in RDR2. They obviously had it back in 2004 in San Andreas. So I do think they're going to have most of this stuff coming back, returning in GTA 6. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. So thank you guys for watching. Again, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Please drop a video like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more GTA 6 content. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.